Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Ungainly Titan. This video has been sitting on my hard drive since July, mid-July actually. I intended to play it at the time, I intended to show it on the channel at the time, but not sure why it dropped out of my consciousness. It's a game from when I was grinding fairly hard on the M41 Walker Bulldog, and I managed to get the first mark of excellence on this game. So we're on Sand River, and we're on the Sandstorm variant of Sand River, which means that lines of sight are as per usual, but your ability to see things is about, your view range is about half, I think, your regular distance. So you can see my detection circle is well outside my view range. But I'm still going to go into this forward location, if only to deny it to enemy light tanks, because considerable pressure can be exerted on enemy teams from this location, and we have two light tanks pushing forward aggressively into the dunes here, and I managed to set one of them on fire. Now at this point in time I'm a little bit exposed in this location because my team are behind me, but they're not really in a position to support me very strongly. And that E75 is the big threat. I'm being detected by the light tanks, or at least the one that has pushed in fairly close to me there. I think it was the T-37. So I'm going to have to back off. But I'm going to try and keep the E75 under observation. I managed to get an ammo rack hit there, and hopefully my allies will be able to get some extra damage on him. He's pushed forward into a very aggressive position, which in this weather variant, I don't think it's a good idea, because unless he's got a lot of support, the thing is he's not going to spot much from there. It's kind of a location where it's best used to break up an attack that's going to come out of the dunes, or to fire up into the road. But I don't think there's anybody up there spotting for him up the road into the mountains. So I'm going to push forward again because he shouldn't be able to see me anymore. And I have some support now. Well, there's a KV-3 pushing out there, but that's a rather suicidal move in the sense that KV-3 is bottom tier here, and they're as blind as a bat in the normal circumstances, and it's not going to improve by being out here. And he's ran into a Leopard PTA, which is going to take him apart in very short order. I'm going to give him the help I can, but I can't actually stay here too much longer either because I'm being spotted, and we don't really have anybody to take on people in the western dunes or in the southern dunes, and I'm taking fire from the west. So the Leopard has come over. Now he's auto-aimed or something like that. He's completely missed that shot. He's taking fire from others, and I'm just not going to hang around. I took that shot prematurely. I should have waited for the gun to, the turret to adjust. But I'm not going to hang around. I'm just going to use the fact that he's spotted and I've got plenty of support behind me. Get into cover, get out of view range, get unspotted, and then I can go back into that location again. The Leopard is now out of commission. He's taken out, and that's a very valuable kill for our team because that's a very mobile, hard-hitting tank, and he's allowed himself to take it out very easily with very little to show for his efforts, so to speak. And we have the opportunity there to take out the T-37, so we're going to take advantage of it. I don't think we have any clean shots on the E75, and there's a couple of guys who pushed down the wadi and they're in trouble. I can't really move to help them immediately without doing something about this T-34-3. I need to encourage him to go somewhere else. So I'm going to put him into fire because I can see him. He's been spotted and I'm well out of his view range, I suspect. So he's moved up with the E75 and he's been engaged by a couple of tanks up there. So that should keep him busy for the moment. Might have a nice shot on the T-34-3 on his roof if he can just stand still long enough to let me put it round through it. Come on, stop, that's it, hold it, yep. It's exactly what I want. That will of course encourage him to move and give me other opportunities Bounced that one off the side of his turret. That missed completely. He was just a bit too hurried. I don't know, bounced off of something. Spaced armor possibly along the side. He's probably gone out of my effective range of fire. Guys at the end of the wadi, I'm not as sure. I mean, it's become a thing recently that people move up through the wadi in the San River, and I'm not convinced that it's an effective or sensible thing to do. It certainly strikes me as not an effective or sensible thing to do unless you've got support both here on the central ridgeline that I'm on and in the dunes to the west of your location. Otherwise, when you try and stick your nose out, you're going to be gotten flanking fire from the west, like this T-30 is putting the guys in the wadi under. Now, he is actually moved into an advanced location. He's not back in the dunes, he's right at the edge of the wadi, so I have the opportunity to put flanking fire into him. And the T-30's problem is that he's got a very slow rate of fire, so I can do a lot of damage while he's reloading. Now, while his turret is facing the tanks in the wadi, I'm actually able to do damage, but if his turret faces towards me, I probably won't be able to do any damage. Now, I don't know what state the guys in the wadi are, but obviously he thinks he can take them out. So we're putting more fire into him, and he's finished. And then a T-32 pops up from the western dunes. So I should be able to do some damage to him as well, depending on when I can see him and when I can get shots at him. And now I'm going to push forward. I think we've more or less cleared the enemy out from the centre of the map, and the bulk of the enemy force is now in front of us. So unless there's some stuff still out there in the dunes to the west or to the south, we have a couple of tank destroyers back at base, and we still have artillery, so there's no immediate threat of the cap falling. Now the Yak Tiger is pulled out. I'm not really in a position to do a lot of damage to a Yak Tiger, but we're spotting him, so other people can do damage instead. And spotting people is a useful activity as well. So, but I can do damage to the T-32. He's moving in to try and defend the base, and I'm trying to get a tracking shot on him. I'm not managing very well on the tracking shot department. That was fired a little too far forward, and somebody's just taken him out completely. Probably a tank destroyer of some type. So the Yak Tiger is still there, so I have to be careful where I go. And the I don't know if it's the same T-44 that was in the wadi or it's a different T-44, but he's been spotted down there in the dunes. Now I was tempted to go after him, but he's practically at full health, and I'm pretty much a one-shot kill, I think, to a T-44. Those mediums do nice amounts of damage, so I thought instead of going after him, I'll apply some cap pressure. I'll go into the cap circle, and if he's interested in winning the game, he's going to have to come back and do something about it. Artillery's just been taken out. So now I'm in the cap circle, and we'll just see how it plays out. We have some tanks in the centre pushing kind of southwest. One of the guys is heading towards me. There's a heavy tank, and well, the rest of the team are coming up. There, the guys have come down from the north, and they're just coming towards the cap circle as well. So there's two tanks in the cap circle, and the T-44 has popped up, attacking a tank destroyer there, down there at the edge of the wadi near the base, near our base. And he's on his own, he's unsupported at the moment, he's just got artillery, I suppose, supporting him, but another tank destroyer has popped up now. I'm going to roll out of the cap circle, give these guys a chance to take out the T-44, and what'll do, come on lads, roll out again. I'll only buy him a few seconds because there's still 3 tanks in the cap circle. But they've managed to do it, and he's taken out. So overall, we've done pretty well here. 27 damaging ribbons. Now, about 10 of them are fire, 13 assisted damage. So let's see what it amounts up to. 2,852 direct damage, 3,626 assisted damage. We got a Confederate and a first class mastery. So that was pretty good. Quite happy with this result, and we also managed our first mark of excellence on this tank. And we came number 1 by experience despite being a bottom tier tank. So overall, very satisfactory result. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like, and if you have not already done so, please consider giving the channel a subscription so you can see more videos like this. Bye now, and I'll catch you again soon.